Coming up on This Week in Torrance, international short film producers come to Torrance. We'll tell you why. And Richardson Middle School celebrates the grand opening of their new gym thanks to voters. Plus, a business closes its doors but doesn't say goodbye to customers, at least not just yet. We'll tell you why. Then one local brewery is expanding and also celebrating another year in business. We'll tell you who. These stories and much more are just seconds away. Your local news starts right now. Hello and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. Thanks so much for joining us. Ben McCain has the week off. Here are your top stories. The first of 5 hearings was held recently to discuss the makeup of the city's possible voting districts. Community members had the chance to speak at the special meeting where a majority of the council members approved to move forward with taking public input and discussing potential transitions from its current at-large method of elections to a by-district system, which would be a historic change. The hearing was the first of 5 that must be held before a by-district formal method of election can be adopted. The purpose of the hearing was to identify the neighborhoods, other communities of interest, and local factors that should be considered or used as building blocks when drafting district maps. The City Council may consider many factors before establishing districts, such as topography, geography, cohesiveness, and community interests. Actual maps will be presented on May 8th. Other public hearings are scheduled at regular council meetings on May 22nd and June 12th. The city has 90 days from the date of filing to decide whether to move forward with district elections. The public can submit maps through an online tool that's made available at torranceca.gov. The city started this process after it was faced with allegations it was violating the California Voting Rights Act. If interested in more details, you can always watch City Council proceedings online on demand at torranceca.gov. The next meeting will be held during a regular City Council meeting on April 24th. An art supply store that's been around for decades in the city is changing its business direction. After 42 years, Walser's art supply store is getting ready to say goodbye. Through April 21st, steep discounts will be offered on all art, office, drafting, and digital products. Currently, they have inventory of over 20,000 professional products. Owner Jack Walser says there has been a steady decline in business and has shifted gears. Recently, he opened Walser's Tactical Store, which carries ammunition, targets, knives, gun accessories, and cleaning supplies. He hopes to also sell firearms in the near future. To see inventory, go to walsers.com. Well, still ahead, filmmakers from around the world showed off their hard work here in the city. Plus, one of the newest restaurants in downtown Torrance is cooking up some unusual dishes you won't want to miss. Stay right here. You're watching This Week in Torrance. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Jordan Peele. I'm usually trying way too hard to be funny. Well, right now I'm going to be completely serious with you. Online bullying is a toxic side effect of modern technology. No one's immune to it. Not you, not me, nobody. But there's a way we can fix it. This emoji in the symbol section of your phone's emoji keyboard. Use it when you see bullying online to say, I see what you're doing, not cool, definitely not funny. And I know what funny is. I coined the phrase wordness to the turdness. So, join me and become a witness. When you see bullying online, use this emoji to do something. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Community members dressed up in their finest for a night to give back to students in the Torrance Unified School District. The annual Black and White Affair fundraiser was a full house at the Torrance Doubletree Hotel. The night was dedicated to fundraising and supporting the Torrance Education Foundation, which assists the needs of 31 campuses in the Torrance Unified School District. The dinner gala and auction is the main fundraising event for the foundation, and 100% of the proceeds will go towards various programs that benefit students from pre-kindergarten through grade 12. This year, $160,000 was raised, which is a 33% increase since 2017. Also at the gala, the James Armstrong Award recipient was Kurt Robinson, president and CEO of Robinson Helicopter. The elegant night included live and silent auctions, opportunity drawings, with one lucky person winning a new Toyota. One of the main focuses of the Torrance Education Foundation is to help integrate more science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in classrooms. Torrance Unified School District Superintendent Dr. George Mannon said during the gala that Torrance schools have become leaders in STEM across the nation. For the fourth year, the Torrance Cultural Arts Foundation brought short international films to Torrance. 16 films were debuted at the Pacific Coast International Short Film Festival held at the James Armstrong Theater. The purpose of the annual viewing is to motivate filmmakers to share the stories they create, encourage growth of short films, and the careers of film directors, producers, and screenwriters working in the industry. The films ran for 15 minutes or less, including credits, and were in genres from documentary to experimental fiction. But it wasn't just viewing the films. Attendees voted on their favorites. There were 3 awards, including Best of Fest, Judge's Favorite, and Audience Favorite.
I'm very honored. Every time the short film is like present and people watch it, for me it's like this is a gift.
But this is a really little gem of a festival.
Right.
The films were like amazing, really good quality, and I am honored that they chose my film to screen with these incredibly great shorts.
We get to bring in so many films from all over the world, and a lot of people would never get a chance to see them on a big screen. You can watch almost anything on the internet, but there's something different about being in the theater and getting to see these all in one evening.
The festival is a fundraiser for the Torrance Cultural Arts Foundation so the organization can continue to bring great shows to the city. Volunteers from the city were honored for their selfless dedication. Volunteers from the Community Services and General Services departments were recognized at the 20th Annual Volunteer Recognition Dinner at the Toyota Meeting Hall. The event awards volunteers who have contributed more than 20 hours of service in the last calendar year. There have been more than 52,000 volunteers who served the City of Torrance and dedicated 46,000 hours in 2017 alone. There was also a special surprise in store. Community Services Director John Jones received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the California Parks and Recreation Society.
Volunteering holds a very special place in my heart because I started out as a volunteer 45 years ago for the City of Torrance. I started out as assisting the youth day camp program, Camp Chippewa. I truly understand the time, the energy, and the commitment each and every one of you provides to our city when you volunteer. I found that my experience was when I was volunteering for the city a few years ago, that it gave me a sense of community and pride.
So tonight was a really great experience to be able to get them all together, to recognize the service, to recognize their commitment to our community, because we really believe and we know we're not able to offer the services that we do or the programs that we do without their support, without their tireless efforts.
The city proclaimed Volunteer Week from April 15th through the 21st. This year's theme was Volunteers United, We Care. During a recent council meeting, volunteers from the James Armstrong Theater, Friends of Torrance Exceptional Athletes, Madrona Marsh Preserve, Torrance Art Museum, and Torrance Police Department were recognized. The City of Torrance is always looking for individuals to volunteer. For more information about the program, go to torranceca.gov. A Torrance restaurant is creating some buzz around town with its unique dishes and unusual ingredients. And the owner says he owes all the success to one person. Reporter Louie Tran tells us more.
Torrance's newest Mexican restaurant, Madre, is making a splash here in the South Bay. And the owner, Ivan Vasquez, says he credits his mother for all of his success.
When I came to the United States, she was the only one that came to the airport to support me on my adventure.
Vasquez worked in the restaurant industry for years. He noticed there was a lack of authentic food from his hometown in Oaxacan, Mexico. This eventually sparked a dream to open up his own restaurant and share his own culture through his mother's homemade recipes.
That's the most beautiful thing that life can give me, providing my own food to the rest of the community here in the South Bay.
21 years later, Vasquez opened up Madre, naming it after the person who inspires him the most.
I wanted to introduce the Oaxacan cuisine by recognizing my mom and all the aspects of what she used to make for me 14 years.
From cocktails to food, The menu here at Madre offers traditional Mexican dishes to some more indigenous to Oaxaca. He imports majority of his ingredients and alcohol from Mexico, including its 265 bottle collection of mezcal, a distilled alcoholic beverage to the likes of tequila.
People love them, and even when they don't order mezcal, they just kind of ask me if they could have a little bit of them on the side just to try them.
In Oaxaca, grasshoppers, also known as chapulines, are one of the most well-known end-use ingredients. You can eat them by themselves, with tacos, or in this case, with chip and dip.
It was crunchy, it was salty a little bit, but it was good.
Grasshoppers on the menu has created a big buzz for this restaurant, something you won't find anywhere else. Vasquez hopes to bring his mother to the States to see all that he has accomplished and to hopefully serve her in his restaurant one day.
I think she's gonna start crying and she's gonna start looking at the restaurant like, this is huge, you know, I feel proud of you.
Vasquez says he chose Torrance because of its business-friendly atmosphere. As a local of the South Bay, he wanted to share his passion with the community, hoping it would spread more awareness around his culture. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Louie Tran.
Thanks, Louie. Ivan Vasquez plans to expand his business in the next couple of years, where he hopes to open up another restaurant in Hollywood or Beverly Hills. A one-of-a-kind tour will be landing at the Torrance Airport for only a few days. The Wings of Freedom tour will arrive on April 26th and stay through the 31st. World War II aircraft will be on display thanks to the Collings Foundation tour, which includes the Torrance Airport as one of its stops. Fans can get an up-close look at fully restored bombers, including the B-24 Liberator, B-17 Fortress, and the P-51cc Mustang dual-control fighter aircraft, and many, many more. You can also buy a once-in-a-lifetime experience and take a ride in the air. The purpose of the tour is to honor the sacrifices made by veterans and to educate visitors, especially the youth. Walkthrough tours will take place from 2 to 5 p.m. To find out more about the experiences, head to collingsfoundation.org. This summer, many new businesses will be opening up on the boulevard. Del Amo Fashion Center will welcome new retailers this spring and summer. Dave & Buster's, Marshall's, Precise Jewelers, Miniso, Travis Matthew, Gymboree, Churros Pure Bakery, and Frostbites will open at the mall. In early June, Travis Matthew, a progressive sportswear brand for men, will be opening. Gymboree will be reopening. Churros Pure Bakery will open this summer with freshly baked churros, bread, muffins, and cakes. And then California local company Frostbites will offer a variety of sweet treats, including crepes and frozen delights. A local brewery started construction to expand their business. Smog City Brewing Company is getting an outdoor patio that will include approximately 240 square feet of additional interior space for serving and consuming. In their parking lot, they also plan to have a food truck. This is one of many new features coming to their business as they grow in the city. They were also recently featured in a beer newspaper. Head to smogcitybrewing.com for more information on upcoming events. And Smog City is also brewing up some specials for their business anniversary. Smog City Brewing Company will release their 2018 anniversary beer called Awkward Teenager on April 28th. The beer is a super hoppy farmhouse ale with tropical fruit. Awkward Teenager is a fruity forward saison brewed with guava and tangerine. And if you're wondering about the name, business owners say it comes from the current feel of the business right now. You can get your hands on the beer when it's released at 11 a.m. on April 28th. Established in 2011, Smog City Brewing Company is a brewer-owned and operated craft brewery in Torrance. Smog City will also be hosting pre-anniversary events across Los Angeles County. Smog City is located at 1901 Del Amo Boulevard. Students at Richardson Middle School are now enjoying their newest facility. The community came together with school officials to celebrate the grand opening and rededication of Richardson Middle School's new gym. It will support the school's physical education program with new lockers and an indoor multi-use basketball and volleyball court. Thanks to Torrance residents passing measures T, U, Y, and Z, the school was able to help build science labs, install new lighting, windows, and modernize classrooms. During the ceremony, a plaque was given to the school and attendees had a chance to tour the gym. Students even played a game of basketball.
Adding facilities like this makes the quality of life in our community that much better. Providing facilities for the youth of Richardson Middle School actually spreads the wealth to the rest of the community as well. And we're really impressed with what our voters did.
The measures passed by the community also helped in district-wide safety upgrades, provided technology improvements at all schools, and energy efficiency upgrades. Torrance High School's auditorium was renovated and new ones were built at other high schools. The maximum enrollment at Richardson is 700 students. A state legislator secured millions of dollars for a local regional occupational center right here in Torrance. Assemblyman Al Moritsuchi announced recently that the Southern California Regional Occupational Center, also known as SoCal ROC, will receive $10 million in additional funds over 4 years. Moritsuchi requested the education funds be directed to SoCal ROC through the state's budget. He says that as a former Torrance School Board member and trustee of the SoCal ROC Board, he's happy to make this happen so the center can continue to provide high-quality career technical education and teach valuable job skills to students throughout the South Bay. School officials say the funding will be used for program development and supporting existing programs. Also, they will use the money to build reserves for the future. The state will give the center $4 million in funding for the 2017 to 2018 fiscal year. Torrance Police is partnering up with Safety Belt Safe USA to spread awareness about seatbelt safety. Between April 29th and May 5th, Safety Belt USA is partnering with numerous law enforcement agencies, and Torrance is one of them, to make sure people of all ages are buckling up properly when getting in the car. The organization is a national nonprofit dedicated to child passenger safety. Children under 8 years of age must travel in a child restraint system. Children under 2 years of age must ride rear-facing in a child car seat. To find more information on safety belt workshops, go to carseat.org. Local community members stopped by the Torrance YMCA to make sure they are healthy. Once again, the Y offered free cholesterol and blood glucose screenings. It's one of many events they provide to the community annually. Now in its 4th year, it's also offered at the San Pedro, Wilmington, and Gardena YMCA locations. This is done to determine whether your cholesterol is high and is an estimate to determine if you are at risk for heart disease. The event was in partnership with Torrance Memorial Medical Center, and YMCA officials say the screenings are a necessity since they have seen an increase in blood sugar levels in the last few years. But for those staying active, blood sugar levels have decreased. One attendee says the event gave her an opportunity to know her health before going into the doctor's.
Even if you don't have insurance, to just take advantage of these screenings and things that you can find that pop up. There's health fairs, there's always some sort of community involvement.
The Torrance South Bay YMCA also has a diabetes prevention program and offers sessions to encourage people to eat healthier, increase physical activity, and make other changes to improve overall health and well-being. Diabetes affects 1 in 10 Los Angeles County residents, costing an estimated $6 billion each year. Well, still ahead, upcoming events you won't want to miss. Plus, we have the latest happenings in the sports world. We'll be back in just a minute.
Palm trees, coastline, craft brews. Yep, this is Southern California, but this is Torrance. Have you ever driven to a whole other city just for a bowl of ramen? Because if you haven't, that's about to change. Have you ever been to a beach that feels so much like your own private beach that you're like, where has this been all my life? Welcome, my friends, to Torrance Beach. So private, you hadn't even heard of it. Have you ever been to a mall that had literally 2.7 million square feet of shopping? Run, don't walk to Del Amo Fashion Center. And get this, Torrance is the actual epicenter of the South Bay's craft brew industry. I guess you could say the brews are just craftier here. We also have a farmer's market that's just as much about the people as it is about the food. And even our museum scene is the best of the South Bay. All this just 15 minutes from LAX. You'll come for the city, stay for the experience, and leave as a friend. So, are you in?
Welcome back. Here are some upcoming events. The South Bay Entrepreneurial Center is hosting a luncheon on April 25th from 11:45 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the address you see on the screen. It's an opportunity to meet local entrepreneurs and other SBEC members for the monthly luncheon. Then you have the chance to meet Torrance police officers at a Coffee with a Cop event from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the newest Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf location now on Hawthorne Boulevard and Sky Park Drive. This takes place on Thursday, April 26th. It's a chance to ask questions, voice concerns, and get to know the officers in your neighborhood. And you can celebrate the spirit of Yoga Nanda by attending an inspiring festival on April 28th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. There will be guided yoga and meditation classes, keynote speakers, and much, much more. It will take place at the Toyota Meeting Hall. Admission is free. For more information, go to yoganandafest.com. Now let's find out what's happening in the Torrance sports world. What's going on, AJ?
Hey, Jen, here's what you'll see on this week's edition of the Sports Desk. The Saxons host the Spartans in boys volleyball, but 3 is not the magic number for South, but rather 23. And speaking of South, the school's baseball field has a brand new name. Plus, North and West Open League play on the softball diamond. And we'll take you inside the State Junior College Diving Championships at El Camino. We'll have these stories and so much more. Remember to watch the Sports Desk at 4 and 9:30 p.m. right here on Torrance CitiCABLE. Jin, back to you.
Thanks so much, AJ. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.